My daughter locked herself in her room, crying so hard her whole body shook. I forced the door open and found her clutching a test paper that had been torn into pieces and taped back together. It was a Math Olympiad qualifying exam. Perfect answers. A glaring 0. Mom, she sobbed. Mrs. Henderson said 3 times 5 doesn't equal 5 times 3 the way I solved it. She said I was cutting corners. She tore up my paper in front of everyone, disqualified me from the competition, and told the whole class not to talk to me. I stared at the deep red scratch marks on my daughter's wrist, then grabbed my phone and called the principal directly. I have just one question, I said. What benefit does driving a math-loving child to despair bring to your school's reputation? The line went dead. Only the dial tone remained. My daughter stopped sobbing. She just looked at me, her eyes hollow. I helped her into her jacket, took her ice-cold hand, and headed straight to school. When I pushed open the door to the Math Olympiad office, the laughter inside died instantly. Several teachers looked over. Mrs. Henderson was leaning back in her chair, sizing me up with a sneer curling her lips. Which parent are you? This is break time. Without a word, I walked to her desk and slammed the reconstructed test paper down. The torn pieces scattered across the desktop. That red 0 glared under the fluorescent lights. She snorted, picked up one piece between 2 fingers, and held it to the light. Oh, this is what you have a problem with? My grading is correct. 3 times 5 and 5 times 3 are both 15, I said, staring into her eyes. Of course they are. She flicked the paper back onto the desk. But the problem-solving approach was wrong. So it's a 0. I teach Math Olympiad. I teach logical rigor, not grocery store arithmetic. Today she doesn't follow the rules in solving problems. Tomorrow she won't follow rules in life. I tore up that paper to show her, and the whole class, what rules mean. She shot to her feet, towering over me, her voice suddenly sharp. I've seen plenty of parents like you. Half-educated, yet you dare question professional teaching. Kids are ruined by people like you. Lazy thinking, cutting corners, it's all learned at home. Now your kid has problems, and you have the nerve to come make trouble at school. With each word, she jabbed a finger at the desk, spittle flying into my face. My daughter trembled harder behind me, her small hand clutching my shirt desperately. Say that again, I said, glaring at her. So what if I do? She stepped forward, nearly colliding with me. I said you can't educate your child. You use her as a trophy, pushing her with shortcuts to learn this and that. Now you question the teacher? Your education is shit. Go home. Stop embarrassing yourself here. I looked straight into her eyes and enunciated every word. Mrs. Henderson, you tore up her perfect paper in front of the class, incited everyone to isolate her, physically hurt her, and abused her. And now, in front of her, you're using the filthiest words possible to insult her mother. I paused, her face flushing with rage. Get out of my way. Don't interfere with my educating students. You uneducated piece of shit. Go home. Stop embarrassing yourself. Her face turned red as she raised her hand. Stop right there. A furious shout came from the doorway. The principal walked in, his face dark with anger, glaring at Mrs. Henderson, who stiffly lowered her hand. He turned to me, his tone controlled. Ma'am, please come to my office. In the principal's office, he poured us hot water. I didn't touch mine. I simply laid the torn test paper on his desk, then took my daughter's hand and showed him the deep red marks on her wrist. He stared at the test and the injuries for a long time before finally looking up. This is our fault, he said deliberately. Please give me 3 days. The school will investigate thoroughly and handle this seriously. In 3 days, I guarantee that you Mitchell's moral misconduct and malicious defamation of our school's teachers.